Can you hear me?
I can now, but it looks like you might be frozen.
I am. Maybe I should go out and come back in.
Well,
I don't know. I'll go out and come back in.
turn it off. I guess you tried that already.
No, it did its own thing. Oh my God. I'm
Oh,
going
okay.
to go out the studio and come back in and see if that works.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, guys. Well, hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. I'm just going to say hello to everybody until we get Miss Angela back on in the studio. Of course, we are here with you for Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to do both episodes, right? I forgot we had to do last week's episode. So we're going to get us caught up and talk about this conversation between Kimmy and Maurice, okay? Get your opinions about it. So, hello, we back again. It seems like it's fine now.
Okay. Like, but it did the same to me the other day. I'm like, God, dog. Well. Yes, we're going to start with our episode 15. Is it lay down, stand up? We got Maurice and Tisha having to face a future with, basically with grown children. We got Nell threatens to air Marcel's dirty laundry, and we got Scott's 1.0 in sex therapy and 2.0 in couples therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Nell, she tired of Tisha, and she better quit before she tells what she really know. Tisha's upset with Marceau because Marceau is getting the with Scope the business together before he's getting her business together. He said, "Well, we have to do the things that pays us first, basically, and that's on a higher priority." And so she has him to have a sex therapist over. And I thought
Mm-hmm.
it was funny because he said, "What we doing here?" Because like she was creating this thing, like whatever they touch or whatever, he ready to do it. And he was like, "No." He said, "Sometimes I just want a hug from you." And so when the therapist had left and they started to talk, and this is one reason why I thought about when she was popping her shit before about I ain't got to worry about no woman. That's fine. But to me, I always look at Tisha as being a woman who is very, like her esteem is kind of low in that situation. It seems like she's not as sure of herself in her marriage, according to what she's reading in the public or seeing in the public. And he told her he felt like, she treats him like she's in the comment section or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's, you know, like who you gonna believe, me or them? People you don't even know. So what did you
Mm-hmm.
think about the sex therapy scene?
I thought it was interesting. So first thought I said is, oh, this is what they're talking about we gonna see them in counseling because remember they did the live and they was talking a lot about which Chris Fletcher mentioned, but they were talking about the things that they didn't want to have shown on the show and that we would see them go through some counseling and things. And I think everybody was confused
Mhm.
about what kind of counseling were we going to see. So that was kind of interesting. I like to see them talk to each other. As I always say, I don't think that marriage is not a one size fits all thing.
Mhm.
I think that when they talk, as we saw at the couples retreat a few seasons back, like when they work together for whatever that's worth. Like somebody could feel, he's controlling, you know what I mean? And so we do understand that Tisha's problem also is that she needs to stay out the comment section. I think that she's doing that so far. And so when it came to popping her shit, that's why I'm like, well, pop it then, like because what she probably does need to find is decide where we are understanding of her marriage. And so if
Mhm.
there is any criticism, it's just going to come with what's being given to us. So with that being said, I thought it was interesting. So that was the first time my interest had probably peaked to kind of say like, is it any truth to this 20 women thing and to all of the things that Martell is, so, giddy to get off his chest in some type
Mhm.
of way. But because what I believe for sure is that he knows something. Now I'm
Oh,
not never just jumping right on, because again, when something don't make sense, it don't make sense, but I do know that we kind of missing something. So yeah, I figure if he's so adamant about something that he knows, he clearly knows something,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, the whole like I just wanted to kiss and stuff. Not that I don't believe him, not that I wouldn't believe him, but I thought, hmm, like would that be why she would have the inkling to want to believe, some other things on the side? You know what I mean? Because,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, I think it is something too, because as we're gonna see with his brother, he's kind of quite the opposite. So maybe it's the same thing about with the husband thing, getting used to seeing a guy who maybe is not hypersexual.
Okay. Okay. I understand it. But I like when he tries to pull her forward and reassures her, because I
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
girl, if it's nothing there and you don't see nothing, don't let other people you don't know
Right.
convince
No,
you
for
there's
sure.
something there.
And that's what I do like to see their conversations amongst each other,
Hmm.
even with her being upset with the office.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, even for me, I'm like, that seems just like a tough place to be in, like, because on one end, I would agree that you do the jobs that's paying. You know what I mean? Like, that's just business. I think that I would agree with that. But then on the flip side, I could understand why you'd be like, you sitting up watching all this other stuff happen and yours not, So, but I think they do a good job at talking with each other. And
Yeah.
for whatever it's worth, he does a good job of making sure she's satisfied with whatever he left her with. You get what you know?
Exactly. Seems like he has the voice of reason.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because I think he stops her from jumping off the bridge. I think,
That's right.
like, girl, I don't
True.
know. So that's why I thought it was strange when she was doing that. Because I'm like, you don't act like that. Because
Hmm.
because she seems like
You got
like
take
she's
it till you make
here.
it.
Yeah. So I don't know. But anyways, then we have Miss Nell and Chris. They're having a conversation. I think I'm on the right spot where she's upset. Is that the right? Is this the right one? I don't know, girl. I think I might be confusing the last episode. But anyways,
Uh-oh.
Miss Nell, she threatens to, tells what's going on with Marcel, because the things she do know. So I guess Chris is doing a lot of pillow talking. And my question would be for Chris or Miss Nell. If he's telling you what oh boy doing and they all hanging out,
Well, I
wouldn't that mean
figured
he
she
was
probably
something
meant just rumors in the town.
she said stuff she do know. I
Mm.
do know is to
And
me
it
not a
could be
rumor.
from her husband directly. You're right.
Yeah,
I
that's the
just
only way I
thought
would take it.
the one thing with Nell, and I guess we saw a little bit of this in the next episode, but for me, every time she opens her mouth, I don't see her trying to resolve anything. Like, what is that comment supposed to do, or you know what I mean, like mean? And when somebody sees it, it's just as simple as how Destiny was the one to go back and say, like, well, she said you need to keep her name out your effing mouth. So, like, because even at that point, it wasn't even necessary. What I was talking about, it wasn't necessary for you to go there. She need to keep my name out her fucking mouth. Like, well,
Yeah.
whoa, and so even though Destiny plays the middle part because she goes back and tells it, but at
Mhm.
the end of the day, same like we talk about these cameras, if you wasn't giving it, it wouldn't be nothing to give. So if
Mhm.
she hadn't said it, it wouldn't be nothing to take back to him. So that's the one thing with me, and I feel like that's the reason why I'm having a hard time figuring out where Nell fits in, because it feels like you're not here to resolve anything.
Mm.
And you just keep starting. I mean, I don't that's the energy. It was
That's just,
unnecessary. What they was talking about, what was they talking about? Discuss, oh, the girls trip, right? No, this is
Yeah, no,
before.
because he wants to know what's the problem between her and Tisha. She said,
Right,
you
yeah.
and
That's what I think.
Marshall.
This
That's
is
the problem.
before.
Yeah,
And
so
so,
the
and she called it right, but I get, she said it was her, him, and Marcel. Like
mhm.
they literally are going back and forth between something they are trying to get out on the other one they heard on the blog. They literally are.
Well, because Tisha got upset because Chris said something about the NDAs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Or I
so
thought, well, it's been so long at this point, I kind of seemed like I forgot. Um, I think it
it was
was the NDAs. Okay, yeah.
yeah, because it was the conversation he had with Mel,
Mm-hmm.
the season
Right,
last whatever
exactly.
season that was, her
Mm-hmm.
last season, and so that's what came up. And so remember, Tisha, she confronts um Chris. I felt like, to me, if someone had said that about my husband, I'm like, that's their friend, right? So I'm gonna let him handle his friend, right? So at the party, who party was it? It was Trisha's party. Tisha was, you could tell she was drunk or feeling herself a little good. So she got all up in Chris' face. And not only did she got up in his face, and Miss Nell didn't like that, and I feel like in that situation, I feel like because they evidently, Marceau and Chris has moved forward. Them two ladies have not, because I feel like they feel like some shit that went down, and that's
Well,
why they
right. That's what
arguing.
I mean. They literally are arguing about one or the other, exposing something about the other one,
Yes.
and it does stem at their husbands, and
Mm-hmm.
it should be something to say like, well, if these husbands are getting along, why are we arguing?
Exactly.
And so that's what I mean coming from Miss Nell. Not saying that Tisha wasn't wrong. I think we covered that in the review, right? Tisha was dead wrong for walking up on somebody else's husband thinking she could check him like that, for sure. But like I said, I felt like she was pulling rank. And I think that's been something that's been going on the whole time. Is she trying to pull some, secret rank, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm also saying when it comes to Miss Nell, I don't really see you being much of a peacemaker in the situation as well. Like if you know somebody was drunk, maybe in the moment you kind of get caught up, but if you could come back and think about it, you knew somebody was, feeling a liquor, and I guess the point in mentioning that is to say you're not. So if you're the same one, in the equation, then it feels like you would act that way.
Girl, I don't know, but I could understand her thought process.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely would have thought that Marceau and Chris would have handled that instead of the ladies,
Yeah.
because and so that's it on that. Then we get over to really the main thing, Maurice and Kimmy and their
Okay,
couples
let's get
therapy,
to it,
honey.
honey.
We find out, the backstory on Maurice. Basically, he comes from, very small means, and his parents had all these kids. They used to keep a lock on the refrigerator. And I guess since he couldn't get the food that he wanted when he wanted, the way he would soothe himself is going looking at the dirty magazines and getting himself off. That's the way I took it.
Listen, look, you hopped all the way to there.
Girl, I said, what?
um,
That's what stuck. Shit.
um, I mean, I think so. I feel like sometimes we got to remember about the stuff being cut out and
Yeah.
everything. So I'm kind of thinking that I think the therapist asked a question to him because his complaint with Kimmy, which let's go back to when Kimmy was battling cancer, right? That was some of his complaint there. Remember, we had an issue with Maurice about not understanding that she didn't have, I guess, a sex drive at the time. And so we didn't understand that it may have been the amount of times, even though I feel like there was some conversation that surrounded the amount at that time also. So going back to this session, the therapist really, which is funny, I love that they ask this because that's the same thing I would do. Those are the type of questions I ask. It's not so much about whether it's something wrong with you wanting to have sex 3 times a day, but I think the point is why. Like, because the first thing coming to my mind is who has that type of time. Like
Exactly.
if you building a business and you working, like, how do you even have time to have sex? I mean, twice a day, okay, because I can feel like in the morning and at night. You know what I mean? Like, I can
Girl,
understand that, and I think that would be pretty
that's
like
excessive.
reasonable. Yeah, but when you get into the 3, 4 times, like, okay, like I thought about Kimmy, like she was a nurse, like, yeah, how do you have that type of time to do that? And so, yeah, it becomes as at a certain age, if this is a priority to you, there is a need to want to explore why do you feel like you need to do that. So I think his answer when he goes back to this refrigerator deal is because I think, and I kind of understand it, it's just not in this extreme way like him. Like I don't like telling myself no. So it's kind of, I think that's his same thing. So like the therapist brought up of being self-soothing, which Maurice sounded real crass because I guess that's the new word he's gonna use for masturbation. That's what I got from when he said, like, oh, I like the way he put a spin on that, like self-soothing. And it's like, well, no, that's not a new word for masturbation. Sorry. Like, it
Girl,
still is what it is,
yes, it is. I'm like, how did the food and the nasty books all go together? Whatever.
Yeah, but I think that's what that's what the correlation is like whatever he wants to have it. Like, he doesn't want to be denied. Like, and with the refrigerator being the kind of denial, as to something that you should have
No,
access
no,
to.
no. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I didn't understand how the refrigerator being locked went to him soothing himself. I said, I didn't get that one. I would have
Yeah.
thought, okay, I can't eat, so I'm about to go on here get myself off.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think it was in that literal. At least to me, I didn't think it was that literal because I agree. Like that, like, oh, but I mean, I guess that's how you having sex 3, 4 times a day because maybe you do get distracted that easily. It works both ways, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
What are you over there doing?
So I'm like, evidently he is not in this thing, because she's letting him know she's not being pleased at all,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
can't
I think
even.
it's a lot of men that walk around like that.
Oh, definitely. But
Mm-hmm.
to expect her to perform while she was going through a chemotherapy is ridiculous. I mean, as much too, and not even have like, okay, you don't know what this woman insides are doing. You don't know. Her body is changing totally. And Kimmy got to be up there because I was looking at some 80s pictures. I said, shit, she looked grown in her picture. Kimmy got to be the same age as Miss Nail.
I think somebody said like 5 years younger or something like that.
Then Miss Nail?
Mm-hmm. So I think Miss Nail close to 60?
No, I think Miss Nail about 55.
So that's what I was thinking, because didn't Kimmy just turn 50?
I don't know. I just looked at her
I think
80s picture.
so.
Her 80s picture, she looks grown. My 80s picture don't
Mm-hmm.
look as old as hers.
I know that's right.
She looked
Okay.
grown. That's why I thought she was the same age as Miss Nell. I said, because even if that's 89, she looked grown to me. My 89 picture, I look like a teenager. She looked like a grown lady. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe she's a little older, But I know
Right.
she's got to be quite a bit older because they made a deal about it once about her being older than Maurice. Now, I don't know how old he is, but he seems very juvenile to want to jump on top of her or want her to back it up on him. And she was going through chemotherapy. That is, I feel like, ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I if you don't have that kind of compassion for me during that time where, I'm worried about a lot of things, like what if this doesn't work and all these things, and for me to, oh, my stuff hard, I got to put it in something.
No, I
So,
totally agree.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. So, yeah, um, that couples session to me was a lot. We learned a lot there. So then we're going to go on over to season episode 16, Respect Your Yelders. And we have the 80s party. Girl, I had to load the pictures, girl, because I was like, I thought they looked cute. I really did. I enjoyed everybody. And to me, the best look was Martell's. Can't help it. I thought second place would have went to Trisha, but Trisha was in the 90s.
No,
I'm like,
Trisha is just like Contessa to me. Like, girl, as a matter of fact, I'm
because
done
I'm
with
like,
Trisha.
that time didn't come out to 92. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, she was in the wrong decade for sure.
And Destiny let her know. She's like, this the 80s? She said, it's my 80s.
Right.
But so we have the 80s. She's Marcel and Tisha are planning their party. And it's gonna be 80s theme. They said born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. So we got Tisha and Marcel. They your age, ain't they?
I think so, yes, for sure. No, they might be a little bit older than me, but we somewhere in the same, because I'm born in 80.
Okay. She said born in the 80s. So she can't be born in the 70s. She said born in the 80s. So they somewhere around
Maybe
you.
they could be about a year younger.
So they're planning this party and they're trying to come up with the lyrics, girl. And I got so tickled. I said, because it sounds like one time me and my cousin was trying to rap, and then she tried to throw something, and it sounds just like what Tisha said. I'm like, oh, that is so funny. So she's getting all ready. She's trying to get the lyrics together for the invitation. So they plan to drop off the invitation, some of them, where they would drop it off, and the other ones, they would get a text. So they show up to Scott Point 2.0. They show up to them first, and they have their little spiel that they do. They have this old ass limo. I'm like, is this limo's from the? It looked like it's from the 90s. I think 80 is a little bit more boxy. I think that's 90s.
No, I think those limos was it for a little while. Like,
yeah, but I think the 80s is more boxier than that.
Okay.
That look. So yeah, but I thought, oh my goodness, it's long as hell. And they get out with the boom box and they get the rapping, doing that little spiel. And so I don't know. I didn't get when they said Kimmy was bringing along the baby.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
I didn't know what raps with that.
Could have been Maurice, right? Because you can't go without sex. Like the man said, it's like giving the baby a pacifier. Again, going back to the why, you do need to explore why. Like, and why would you think that a person should perform that way? So that real quick, that's the thing I don't like about porn. Is I think it's so unrealistic. And so anybody that feels like they have to watch that, like, to me, it's kind of like, my antennas would already say, like, you must be juvenile, because that's unrealistic. Nobody walks around having sex that way. Like, I mean, unless you're being paid for it, I guess. But go ahead.
A little bit of conversation. Next thing, the music pop up.
Right, yeah. Right, exactly. Like, okay.
Whatever. I ain't watched one in a long time. But then we have them actually going over to deliver an invitation to Ken and Trisha. And I don't know what all they said, but they end up saying something about them doing the button. They kind of turned around and did the button. I thought that was kind of funny.
I'm tired of Trish and Ken. Like, nothing they do amuses me.
They should be friends of, because that's kind of what the role they're falling into now.
No, I think they should maybe Ken could be a friend of. Maybe Ken, and maybe he could bring Trish along here and there. Trish, she's so awkward and it's hard to watch. She
Girl,
doesn't have an awkwardness that's like cute or like that you are
not
okay with
quirky
seeing.
cute.
It's
No,
very awkward, and I don't
girl,
like.
just robotic the way she was dancing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what
Yeah,
is she
I'm like,
doing?
okay, Trish, I tried to hang in here with you, but no, it's a no for me,
I'm not
dog.
gonna lie though, her look as Left Eye was her best look on this show so far. Because
That's
usually
true.
her hair usually is a mess. I just can't take it half of the time.
That's
I'm
true.
like, what kind of wigs is she wearing?
I can't take it after that one, that curly hair that she went on vacation with. Like,
Girl,
girl, where did you even go find the hair? Like, who did that?
it
But
was
yeah,
that same hair from
I'm
Drew.
officially done with Trish. And as we get through the episode and talk about what's coming up on the mid-season trailer, I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm officially done with Destiny also. But let's go. Keep going. But yeah,
Exactly.
nothing, I don't like, they don't amuse me. So
Oh,
yeah, for me it was a filler scene.
okay. So, I did forget to mention where in the scene with Marceau and Tisha planning the trip, they did not want to invite everyone. Well, she didn't want to invite everyone. He said if she didn't invite Nella, it would seem weird. She wasn't really sure about Destiny either. She said because she's not sure that Destiny got her back, and she felt like um, Miss Nell better leave her alone before she get to spilling the hot tea about Chris. And that's when Marceau said, when the people who tries to spill the tea used to get the tea spilled on them. And I just looked like, oh, what is going on here? So he,
Well,
so she,
I think Marceau, this is why we like Marceau. Marceau is just one that's going to practice what he preach. If you telling, and which you, as you should, if you telling anybody else that, like you don't want them talking about your business, then the best thing you can do is not talk about theirs,
true.
and and the do the like, well, what I know about you, because I think a lot of stuff would go without saying. We all on the same show, so it wouldn't be a secret that anything you felt like I had on you, you had on me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think again, Marceau just puts things in perspective. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
So then also, what I was going to say. So she is going to get her mother to come down here, Miss Wanda, and basically sick her on Miss Nell. And he says sometimes you have to be still and let the devil fight your battles. I go. so so we get to Miss Nell and Chris. They're planning their outfits. That's why they seem so old to me. They're getting their little outfits together. And Chris, he kind of complained a little bit about how he received the invitation, but then he goes again, that's Marceau, he just got a text telling him about the party instead of getting a call, and he hasn't spoke to Marceau. I guess since the ladies have went on their the wine trip. What do you think about Miss Nell and her husband planning their little outfits?
I just thought, you just invited because you're part of the cast. I mean, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Nell starts a lot of shit, so
Yeah. I feel like too, if we're, these women are not in the same, well, except for Kimmy, they're not really in her age group. So, and I just don't feel like, it doesn't mesh well. Basically,
well,
they're not.
maybe I think that maybe they close enough, because I think, like you said, like if Kimmy is 50 and Miss Nell is 55 and Tisha is 45, like it's okay for that to be a friend group. But I do think that Miss Nell, like Destiny pointed out, oh, you have this other side, it's Karen, it's this. I think the expectation, because she has the daycare, you got these kids, you got grandkids now, which is in life a little further than everyone else. Like Tisha's kids are just graduating, high school in a sense. So, and she hasn't brought in kids or grandkids. So, with that being said, maybe naturally the expectation is that you would be more mature. So that goes back to me saying, I don't, every time Neil is kind of speaking on these things, I don't really see her taking a position of resolution. I see her kind of waddling in the mud with the rest of them. And so I agree with Tisha. Yeah, get your mom to handle that, because especially if you don't fight the way she does, your mom does, and maybe that's the one that can get her together. It's messy, but all's fair, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it that way because I thought it could have really got ugly between them two,
It definitely could have. Yeah.
And for what? And I did like that what Miss Wanda did say, shit, y'all arguing about some stuff really about them. It really, that's what's wrong with y'all women's. But anyways, so we got Ken and Trish. They are talking about the situation between Miss Nell and Tisha too, and they're getting ready for the party. And she says she gonna be right up in it, in the middle of everything. So she trying to be a contestant. She trying to get in the scene, honey.
That's
She's
all.
gonna be a try hard.
Like it is a big sigh.
Yeah, she's gonna be that try hard this episode, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't show her though. I saw what was her name? Miss Cheryl. What's her name? Her friend.
I don't remember.
Remember the lady that was jumped all in it? Trisha's friend.
Okay.
She was there. Her and that stiff ass bang. I could not stand that bang.
I don't remember the lady's name.
Miss Cheryl.
Not Miss Shirley, honey. Miss Shirley.
I can't think of her name. Whatever. The one that kind of came at Trisha's husband.
I know who you're talking about. I don't remember her name.
She was at the party too. She was there too with that stiff bang. I'm like,
okay, I didn't even notice her. Okay.
Yeah, she was there when what's his name? Will was talking all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for him either. But anyways, so then we have Miss Wanda. She's driving to the Huntsville. And she's on live, must be YouTube on her YouTube channel, and she's already
Instagram. I think she do Instagram live more than anything.
Oh, really? I always catch her YouTube. Yeah, I usually catch her YouTube. And so she's letting it be known that she will be coming for Miss Nell. You said something about my baby. I'm about to get yourself together. So when we get to the party, Miss Wanda, she is the red carpet correspondent right there.
She got her hosting gig.
I said, oh my God, look at Miss Wanda. I like her around the circle French roll.
Right.
I was like, go ahead. Well, anyways, she's there, and the first person she interviews basically is Will. And she looks at him. She said, oh, he makes an older woman wish for her younger days. I was like, oh, really? Go ahead. She just, girl, I guess had to look back at it a couple times.
Okay. I mean, right. I guess, honey.
Yeah, because he all right, I guess.
He just all right for me also.
I'm like, I can't see it, but it is what it is. And then we have who comes in next? We have
I think it was Ken and Trish.
Yes, Ken and Trish. Let me get that picture up here, girl. Is this him? Okay. Ken and Trish. She just seems so robotic. So they
right. That's what I mean. She's so uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable to watch.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to watch this.
So Miss Nell says to her, not Miss Nell, Miss Wanda, she says to her, she said, so where's your husband at? And she go, y'all ain't married yet. So Miss Wanda, her job is there to be messy.
She's a blogger. That's what she said. She's a blogger. So that's what she thinks about bloggers, is that they are messy.
Well, honey,
He wants to
because
be well, Funky go down there. So I think that's her where she's headed, wanting to be like a Funky Dineva type.
yeah, but that whole little sector over there on YouTube, her because they all was arguing, girl. And it was a scene where what's his name? Anthony or something like that. He's a YouTuber too. He came, I guess it's the scene where they met at Wanda's grand opening, and somehow it went down between that blogger and the rest of them. And Miss Wanda, she had invited him, but she didn't know. They thought that he was going to like record the scene and get it out ahead of time or something. So I think the security wanted him gone. And it was a big mess after the fact that spilled over into the YouTube streets because the guy I kind of watched, they were all talking about it. I'm like, oh, well, shit. And so in that, the sector that she kind of play around in, because like the guy I usually watch, Miss Wanda is usually in his commenting. So that's why she brought up the fact about Miss Nell not having things clear with her mother before she died, because the guy that I watched interviewed Miss Nell's granddaughter. I mean, Miss Nell's stepdaughter.
Okay.
And that stepdaughter ran her down. So, so the whole thing about how she supposedly double crossed her mom and took her mom business. This is what they're saying in the YouTube streets, and this all came from Chris's daughter that he had with his first wife, and she says that Miss Nell was the side chick that he left.
Okay.
That he left his wife for her. So whatever, but that's the sector that Miss Wanda usually be in, playing around in, her and Destiny, because Destiny be up in the comments, and so did every once in a while Mel would be up in those comments too.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea of the mess, the mud they be slinging, and where they be slinging it at. So there's that. So we have, then the next one we have that enters. Well, I showed Nell and Chris, but they didn't come through her. Hold on, let's see here. Let's get their picture up, because I thought Nell and Chris looked good. Actually, I thought Nell looked more 80s than all the women. So
yeah, I like that.
This reminds me of my middle school days.
Right.
That look she gave. So, and then it was funny that when Chris walks over there by Will, and Will goes, "Oh, you already had that in your closet."
Right, yeah.
And so then he goes, Chris goes, "Where's Destiny?" And so then Ken says she's probably coming with Twan. I'm like, wow. So when Lance enters, I didn't get a picture of him enter, but when he entered, Miss Wanda asks, was him and Destiny like still an item? And he goes, "No, we're just friends." She's like, "Oh, so you let that hoe go," or something like that.
That's exactly what she said.
And so then we flip back to Will. He's there with the group. He said they have like a chat. In the chat, they try to see whose turn is going to be with Destiny. I said Destiny walked into all of this by dating the guys that's in the same circle.
She really did. Again, we already have established that Destiny, I don't think we are here to watch her date, but from what we have seen of her dating, she doesn't date well. From the men that she have chosen, she doesn't pick well. And so maybe I think this is one of the note I made to myself when he said that, because I didn't like it. But again, it was kind of like, well, maybe this is why you probably should have been a little more thoughtful about how you were dating in this circle, in this group. Because even in her confessional, she says, "Oh, well, Huntsville is a small town." And I'm thinking, yeah, but does it have to be passing you around? Does that have to be what it is? So that goes into, I guess, a self-respect type of deal.
Yeah.
about the way you respect yourself and how you, because it's not necessarily how other people feel about it. It's just, well, you kind of know what you're walking into when you date four men who all know each other. Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
I
So what we
thought
have?
it was crass, but yeah, and I just thought it was cringe, and this is why Destiny should have probably spent a little more time giving us more, because even with the that's not that type of party type of comments, it's like we don't know anything about you, so we're not sure if it's that type of party or not.
I know it. The next
Yeah.
we got Kimmy and Maurice. And when I looked at Maurice, I thought of the movie Cell Block 4.
That's exactly what he looked like. So I think he was probably channeling Easy E.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
It took
And
me a
she
minute to realize Marceau was channeling LL Cool J.
oh,
I know,
okay.
right? That's what I said. It took me a minute, but then it registered. Like, I mean, again, I was born in the '80s, so it wasn't like like I knew the people, but I didn't necessarily learn them until my '90s.
Oh yeah. I guess that went over my I just thought he was just dressed like the 80s. I didn't think he
hmm
thought he
hmm
was channeling LL. He went out there licking them lips.
That's what, but again, it took me because when I saw the pictures, I don't know who posted, maybe Kimmy, but it was some angles, and then that's when I said, "Oh, like that was his inspiration." Now, I'm not saying he came as LL, but again, I could after I got the glimpse, I'm like, "Oh, I get it now." The Kango hat, the rope, and then it all lined up. The glass, you know what I mean? And then now you say licking his lips, like that's what
Oh, I didn't
LL
see him do that.
always was doing, huh?
I didn't see him do that. That's what
Oh,
I didn't see him, but I thought he looked nice. But to
yeah.
me, the best dresser to me was Martell in that damn Gumby.
And he was Bobby Brown.
He was a mix of things. It just was the look. I'm not gonna say Bobby Brown. Most of the guys I knew wore that haircut back then.
But did Bobby Brown make it popular?
I don't know if he made it popular. It was kind of just done at
No,
the time.
Brown probably. I thought he made that popular. The Gumby look.
Because the Gumby actually come from the character that,
From the
um,
Gumby. Now I watched
yes.
Gumby. I know who Gumby
So
is.
yeah, but I don't. It just seems like that was just the style that was out. I just can't remember that. Oh, Bobby Brown was the first one to wear it.
We should. I think you know what. I'm not. I didn't necessarily. I'm not saying that he was the first one, and that would be interesting to kind of go back and figure that out. But I do, for some reason, it's embedded in my head that he's the one that made that look popular. That
I don't.
haircut, yeah, to
I
do
don't
do
know.
that
All the
thing.
boys in high school was wearing it, so who knows? But I didn't say that. I didn't think that. Excuse me, Martell was coming as Bobby Brown.
Well,
That
no,
was.
I'm not talking. I don't think any of them outside of Trish, dressed as one. Like I don't think any of them came dressed as anybody. But just like now, I didn't say it, but for me, her channel was like Madonna. So yeah, I think I don't, and I think anybody would, if you're going to dress in the era, get inspiration from somebody in that era, if that makes sense. Like not come as
Hmm.
them, but channel some inspiration from, yeah, them and whoever else was, popular. The Adidas suits, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Hmm.
that's '80s through and through, right? So, but it wasn't just one person. That's why I was saying, like with the Kango hat and then the rope and stuff. Like once I added it all up, that's kind of when I was like, oh, that's who you was kind of got your inspo from, Same, yeah, same.
Oh,
That's so with me with him with that haircut. I just figure I'm like it feel like a Bobby Brown channel because that was who, at least for me, the most popular. And again, not that I didn't go to high school in the 80s. And so I'm trying to think of like my cousins, friends, or something. I know that it's just like everything else. Yeah, guys pick up on it, but that's what I mean. It's embedded in, for some reason, in my memory that I think Bobby Brown made the look popular, like, and yeah, and so everybody kind of in turn did it. So that's kind of the reason why I was saying, well, because like I said, the suit goes, the rope chains, sometimes some of that goes without saying. And that could be everybody in the era. But that
Yeah.
haircut to me was probably a specific one. What are you? Oh, let me get this. Look at him. Okay.
Prince Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So we got Miss Wanda. Oh, let me get Miss Wanda picture up here because Miss Wanda had the circular French roll.
Honey, that's Miss Wanda did not do anything special for this party. That's her hairstyle. That is her hairstyle. Okay, she was getting that anyway. This party just happened to come up.
Oh my goodness. I said, Lord, I heard this thing on French roll. My mama used to wear them French rolls, honey. Faithfully, her stuff would be French rolled up. But that was more like when I was a kid, early 80s. She wore the French rolls and stuff.
That's giving like a Billie Holiday for me.
Yeah, it is. And girl. So, anyways, when Martell gets up there, she asks him the question about the issue between her daughter, Tisha, and Martell. And she wanted to know about the lady talking about doing both Maurice and Marceau. Was it true? And I thought Martell answered the question very diplomatically because it flashed back to when he said that, as long as they don't say nothing about him, he ain't saying nothing about them, So, she was trying to get that messiness across, but he was not doing it. And so I thought, okay, that's good. He kept his word. But I believe him though.
Listen, good thing for Martell. Again, if you make an agreement, y'all have to stick to it. And it can't be, well, somebody asked me, and now you drive into this messy,
Yes.
hole. So I agree. He has learned a few lessons. He decided that he would uphold their agreement. And so, okay.
So we have Miss Nell. She says she's there to dance and have a good time. Miss Wanda up there look like she's doing the butt or whatever and have a wardrobe malfunction. I'm like, why should it have no biker shorts on?
I'm trying to understand what was the wardrobe malfunction. Was it
her ass was out?
Well, that's what. So this is still my question. What was the wardrobe malfunction? Because I mean, if her dress was too short, it was just too short, and she had no business bending over doing the butt, or did something happen to expose her? Like, did she have on something that tried to cover? It didn't sound like it. So
no, it
seemed like she just showed her ass. Okay,
yes, she did. I'm like, why did she have on biker shorts under that? We're in the 80s. I know they make those leggings that, the short leggings anyway. So they could have been like biker shorts. But anyways, Destiny comes late and by herself, honey. And this got everybody all riled up. Destiny here. Go get your man. So the guys are ribbing and cracking on her. And like I said, I felt like she walked right into all that by dating all those guys in the circle. So she goes over there by them, and then you see Twan and Lance over there playing rock, paper, scissors, as if it's up to them for her to, like they're gonna.
I think that was Will and Lance.
Yeah, Will and Lance.
You had Twan.
I didn't mean to. Will and Lance, and then Twan, because that's the one she likes. He was the only one who was mature. He came over and gave her a hug. So we have Destiny and Trisha. Destiny says to Trisha, "Is that the 80s?" I said, did you notice that Kimmy had the blue eyes on too? I said, go ahead, Kimmy. And Trisha goes, yes, my 80s. I'm like, that is not the 80s, honey. Because left
Like,
eye,
Trisha, you missed. Tried
yeah.
hard and missed, like Contessa, honey. But okay.
Uh-huh. So then Miss Wanda comes over there and joins the ladies. Before that, Miss Nell came to sit by Tisha. And Tisha's like, oh, you coming to sit by me? She's like, yes, shoot, I thought we made up or whatever. So or we're moving forward. Well, so they get to discussing about how the invitations went out, who all got a chance to get an invitation, had the limo and the rap and all that. And Destiny fell away because she was not one of those one who got that personalized invitation.
I didn't like Tisha being passive aggressive with her about why she didn't go. At first she was, kind of made it seem like she made that decision on purpose. And then she turned around and was like, well, you never text me back, as if, she was getting headed to do it. That's one thing I think Tisha has to work on, is just owning where she stands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have like I said, Miss Wanda, she came over there to join the ladies as they're talking. And Tisha had said that she didn't know where Destiny loyalty lies at. She said she felt like Destiny was riding the fence. Destiny said, I don't ride the fence for nobody. And so they're arguing, not kind of arguing, but going back and forth. And Miss Wanda yells, wait a minute. Miss Wanda arguing over issues between. Okay, so Miss Wanda was trying to figure out why they arguing, whatever, and they was talking about this was the issue about the NDAs, and Miss Wanda was like, "So y'all arguing over the stuff that has to do with the men, and they pay over to the men over there having a good time." So Miss Wanda says that basically her daughter needed to have checked Chris. Miss Nell said your damn daughter did.
Mm-hmm.
So then Miss Nell takes offense to her saying damn daughter. So it's Miss Nell versus Wanda. And so Wanda goes too far about saying that Miss Nell did not have things cleared up between her and her mother before her mother had passed away. And that's why I said all that stuff came from the stepdaughter mentioning all this stuff on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So then Tisha tries to get her mom to be quiet. Miss Nell let her know that, hey, I took care of my mom and all this stuff. And what else is this? Then I guess Destiny said, if the men could get along, why shouldn't the women move forward? Miss Nell apologized. Everybody slow dances. And Destiny and Twan is slow dancing, and then here comes Will making it a threesome, snatching her in. So then Lance come over to throw his little stuff over there. So what do you think about that whole party scene?
I mean, I thought it was cute for what it's worth. We didn't get to listen to any music because they didn't pay for the licensing.
But I'm like, what song are they about to play? He said, cause I'm thinking they about to play something we all know. I'm like, what? This was some off the wall stuff. Somebody what Dr. Scott made.
Okay.
Married to Medicine.
Okay.
I never heard this song before.
But yeah, so I thought it was cute for what it's worth. It felt like a filler scene. I'm not really sure if, even though this is not me complaining about there not being any drama, I didn't think anything was wrong with what took place. But I'm not sure if this is what we are watching Love and Marriage Huntsville to see as well. But it was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was cute. Everybody got together in the gym.
So this party was just a party for just having a party,
right? For a party. Yeah, for filming. Again, filler scene, if there ever was one, So there's something to be said, like, about a scene not being That's what I mean. It's not because there is no drama happening. It's just I can tell when it's a filler scene, and I'm not sure if I'm tuning into the show every week for you to be giving me a bunch of filler scenes. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. When we gonna get on with
Carlos,
the
I think you should do better, but we'll see. Maybe
yeah,
I mean you can only work with what you have, but yeah, that's
like
something
you
to
could
be
have had the
said.
party
Yeah,
at Black or something then.
yeah, maybe so.
So then we get to Kimmy and Maurice date night, date day type thing, and here we go. And Kimmy and Maurice, they arrives, look like they're at a hotel eating out outside. But
Hmm.
they talk about, having a date night and trying to learn, he's trying to learn more about his emotional intelligence. Maurice thought, she asked for Maurice's thoughts on the therapy, and he said the therapists have two different approach. And she said, "Oh, you thought so?" Because first he said they had two different like um what are the words I want to use? They had two different answers for everything, and she didn't think so. And it seems like he's kind of questioning whether or not like him having sex or wanting to have sex 2 or 3 times a day is it really a problem, or is only a problem because she doesn't want it? Is it not natural? And she said, well, I believe if he used the word hypersexuality, then that lets you know that this is not something that's natural.
Hmm.
So, what do you think about Maurice and Kimmy in this therapy session that they were
You
talking
know,
about?
I think she's correct. You know, I think like she explained in her confessional, he doesn't want to be wrong, and so he maybe twists things to match it to his advantage. But I think in all things you should have some moderation. So hypersexuality is just another kind of band-aid on almost promiscuous in a sense. Like I think the
Mm-hmm.
only difference in the way you would use those terms would be about the way that you go about having sex. So promiscuous is generally used if you are with multiple
Multiple
partners.
people. Mhm.
And so with him being having one partner, and I think he's a lot like a lot of chauvinistic men. This kind of feeds that idea that him and his brothers have been raised in a chauvinistic form or type of household where
Mhm.
the man is just kind of the king. And what was the saying? Because I think he said use the word. I was told I can
That
lay
I can
down
lay
longer
down longer than you can stand up.
than you can stand up. Yeah,
Mhm.
which is craft. Look at you. You just bothering all kind of stuff. And it's been sitting here all this time and you ain't managed to bother none of it. You got a little while to be out your crate before you go lay down. Like he got a little bit longer, okay? But you keep messing with stuff, it's gonna be earlier. Like, anyway, sorry, y'all. Um, so I'm saying it feeds this idea that you should like that there's not anything wrong with it. And again, it's just another like a better word to use with men, and especially men who don't feel like what they're doing is the same as somebody with multiple partners. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of a different word to make you feel more comfortable about what you're asking for. But I agree with Kimmy that it doesn't indicate that that's all normal. I think anything that says that's over hyper,
Hyper
like
is
you
not
might want
normal.
yeah, take a look at it, right? You might want to.
That is a overreaction, or so it's
Mhm,
like like even you think of hypertension, it's over.
mhm,
Or it's
exactly.
hypotension, that's lower. So come
Yeah.
on now. So you're doing it a little bit too often. He know that's not the norm. Nobody's doing it no 2 and 3 times a day.
Not
You
nobody with
know,
a job and
no,
somewhere to
and
be, you know.
I can see, maybe if you're in the honeymoon stage, you guys off somewhere, then maybe a couple days, maybe like, or maybe not. I don't know, but
Well,
to
it
just
sounds like that's what he was describing when he kept trying to explain, like, well, we've done it, like it started off like this. And to me, it sounds like that's what he was describing is, and I think Kimmy was trying to explain that to him. Like we saw each other once a week. When I saw you, also you were
you was working,
yeah, you were doing these things that kind of
turn me
aided
on.
to my turn on, which goes back to what they were discussing with the therapist. Prince Michael Jackson, man, he just took my little apron up
Yeah,
underneath.
so he didn't got into this attorney soft hand era, and she don't like it.
Right. So, I think, like I say, well, that goes back into what they talked about with the therapist, which he doesn't want to acknowledge that. So it was good that even though Claudia Jordan, like, oh my gosh, she is so aggressive in the way that she gets her information across. But I mean, it was good that she was available on the Carlos King show, because that is what she was pretty much trying to explain to him without
Mhm.
all the vulgar language. See, that's what we talk about a try hard. It was unnecessary for her to use some of the verbiage and things that she was using. But you could have I'm just saying it was really unnecessary and crass. And coming out of a mouth who you want to be treated like a lady, but that's neither here nor there. Um, but the idea is that men don't realize that sometimes when it comes to your girl, like you want to have sex 3 times a day, then I have to constantly be in a mode of putting her in the mood 3 times a day so you can get it. Like that's just, I don't understand what's so hard about that. It sounds as simple as Tiffany and her husband having sex so that they can have a baby. When they went to, therapy about that,
Yeah,
it was like, I don't understand the problem here. Like, you want more sex, she want a baby. Like, well, just have more sex so you can have a baby.
yeah.
Done. You know what I mean? And once they started having sex with each other, guess what they did? Had
Had
a
a
baby.
baby.
Who
That's
knew
it.
that it worked like that? You know what I
Man,
mean?
I could not
So,
take her. I could not.
same with me either. So it's the same thing with Maurice and Kimmy. This is what I love about Kimmy, though. I think that I like that Kimmy is able to express herself without really getting very emotional behind it,
Hmm.
because that allows them to actually have a conversation. Um, and I'd be practicing because I'd be like, Kimmy, when I'm trying to get my point across, I want to be able to do it that way too. In a nutshell, that's really all that they're saying. Like, Maurice, you wanted some more, you're gonna have to work on your sex appeal, buddy. And so yeah,
I was
you
like,
being
what
here
do
is not enough for somebody to just have sex with you 3-4 times a day. Sorry, maybe it is for one of the mother hoes you fuck with, like, because for some
That's
people
what I wrote. That's what I wrote. That's what I wrote. Exactly what I wrote. I just was reading that. I'm like, what those other hoes? What? I really feel like he. Well, they got a match for everyone, but I just even the opening when they showed the opening um video for the whole show and how he's
Mhm,
under her dress. He just seems so weird. I mean,
mhm.
it he's to me awkward. He's his swag is terrible to me. I just he even when he came in there at the party, I just oh he's just so awkward to me. I just whatever it is, I don't know. It seems like Kimmy could do
But
better.
he's not as bad as Trish. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, no, he's not bad as her, but he right there next to her.
Mhm,
I'm not lying because Trish, not Trish, but Kimmy, he says, basically the way I took it, maybe I might be internalizing it wrong, but it just seems like if he's not going to get his way and doesn't look like he's going to compromise, that, this may be the end of them.
that's what it sounded like he was getting around to as well. And again, it's like something that seems so immature.
Yes,
And I don't know if this is such a conversation for him because Maurice is younger than her, but I mean, maybe you get into an age like where I don't know, like maybe your stuff, like maybe you're afraid that it won't work as well, or I don't really know. I thought that was a bit much, and it was immature. And
very
he keeps sticking his foot in his mouth when it comes to Kimmy. You know, that's why he keep getting dragged by the internet though, because we don't play about Kimmy.
girl. I know they dragging his ass after yesterday episode. I haven't
Hmm.
really been on the internet, but I'm like, to watch this, I just didn't have no idea this is the way it was going to go. And
Hmm.
I thought to myself, first of all, he's 40
Hmm.
something. Okay. He ain't 21. He's not
Hmm.
31. You're 40 something, dealing with a lady who's 50 something.
Hmm.
She's right, perimenopausal, menopause, stuff ain't good
Right.
like it used to be. And she's not thinking about that. And like you said, that they were only seeing each other so many times a week. So maybe that's why they were having it, 2 and 3 times when they saw each other. Because, when you're not around a person, it makes you, love every moment you with them.
Right. For sure. Girl,
So
people come here tearing up my walls. This little dog, honey, I
my
gotta get
cousin
some
got
of this
rid of her
spray.
dog because of that.
You know, because of that, right? Yeah, I got to hurry up. That little
Girl, she hurried up and got rid of that dog. When she bought our house about 5 years, 6 years ago. It's a brand new house, and he was over there chewing up the drywall. She called me up. She was like, "You know anybody who can patch drywall?" I said, "No." She's like, "I'm getting rid of this effing dog today." That's all it took.
Where he got to go?
She got rid of him, honey. It was one of them little bitty dogs like you got, but
Hmm.
she was like, "Oh no, I can't
I'm gonna
take
try
it."
to spray first, so we'll see.
She didn't know. I said, they're like babies. Babies put everything in their mouth. He's teething or whatever.
Clearly,
Yeah, but
clearly, that's why I got a little. That's why I try to give him a schedule about going back in that crate, though,
mhm.
because I think him being so young, I might have had him a little bit overwhelmed trying to keep him out, and I didn't like. I don't have. I want when we get to my next place, I'll figure out him a space that's a little bigger than the crate, but still confined. You know what I mean?
Yes. I have you tearing up
Mhm.
my stuff now.
Exactly. Until I let you out, okay, for a little while, okay.
Yeah, so basically, Kim wants a Bob the Builder. She that turned her on, seeing him work hard or whatever. Now he got all this time on his hands. I don't know. Evidently, do you think he's got that many clients?
I mean, I don't know what type of law. I mean, I'm guessing
Defendant
whatever
law?
law it is that he does, it has to do possibly with maybe real estate or maybe with credit repair because I know they have a credit repair company. So I'm saying this to say maybe what he does doesn't require like sometimes when we think about lawyers we think about them being in court all day and something like that, so maybe what he does doesn't necessarily require that. um I don't know. Sounds like from the preview, Marcel want him to get out his soft hand era as well and help him with some of these projects. So
Oh my goodness, girl, that dang on preview. I said they on another hiatus for a little while, I guess.
I mean, listen, them and these hiatuses, but I'm like, we just gonna have to deal
So
with
we're
it.
gonna
If they
come
give
back and
us
go
some new content, some more up to date content, because we have been talking about Ken and Trish, like, and whether remember we kind of noticed about him doing the hard eyes, and I guess Lance is gonna like expose her for doing hard eyes and tongues on his pictures, which that is a little bit much.
yes. I didn't catch what she said about Martell.
I don't think she did. I don't. I feel like that was just a edit for them to just
Mhm.
kind of make it sound like she's about to admit to being with Martell. But there was a clip where she said she actually did spin the block on someone, and it sounds like Destiny asked, was it Martell? And then they kind of had this other clip where she's kind of shaking her head. Yeah, but I'm almost certain that's not going to be the answer. Like,
I'm pretty sure because he said it. She basically was not his type.
yeah, I'm almost certain that's not going to be the answer. So either way, we're not interested. Destiny, it looks like when we come back, you know, she done went and dug her mother up from obscurity.
Ooh, Lord.
And I guess her mom has some, you know, hardcore issues, clearly, you know, giving her
Girl.
away. But here I go. I don't have a problem with people sharing their story. I have a problem with exploiting
Yes.
me and exploiting anybody else. You know what I mean? Like around involved for this, because why now? You know, that's the question I have. Why now? Why is this the story now? And at the age that you are, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that don't have anything to do with it, but yeah, I just want to know why now. So I hope that whenever she comes and whenever she's getting ready to exploit her mother and all her mother's problems, for her to become more popular on this show, I hope that she has a very good reason for giving this information to us today.
Did she go to Detroit to exploit them, or did they come to Huntsville?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out.
Because I'm like, ooh, her mama look. Ooh, let me shut up.
I mean, well, like I said, Sarah seemed like she got a lot of issues going on. Which
I wouldn't have been on TV looking like that either.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. That's sad. I wouldn't have. Yeah, we would have talked about something else. I wouldn't have did that. Yeah, because it just didn't. Unless her mother, I was like, did it come down there? Did she go to Detroit and dig these people up? Or because it seems like she said something about
I heard her say, I found my brothers and sisters, so I don't really know what that means, but that would indicate that you went and located somebody, you know. And again, maybe, but see, it's just funny to me what people decide to keep private and what they decide to share. You know, like for some reason, if this is something new formulated, maybe this is one of the things you could keep private. You know, maybe you could say it, you know, but also, you know, like, but also if you have to keep certain things private in order to, you know, sort out and deal with your life, then maybe that doesn't make you a good fit for reality television, you know?
Well, I definitely would have shared that at all. No, it would have been more scenes with my dad. That's who raised her. Or she came in talking, she said her granny or somebody got in an accident or something.
Oh, her nanny.
Her nanny. Okay, her nanny. I didn't know what she said. But I'm like, this here, because we seen her dad the one time, right? When they went fishing, to me, instead of getting her mother, she should have did more scenes with her dad or something.
Well, she could have did some therapy scenes where, you know, where that would allow her to open up about her story. Like, I think there's a way to share what you want to share without it looking like that. You know what I mean? Without it looking like exploitative. Yeah, like you're exploiting their problems. You're exploiting her position in life. You exploit, you know, I don't like it.
No, and I wouldn't want any. Well, you know, to me, you would have to give people their dignity, and it looks like you can definitely tell that something is definitely wrong with the mom. Period. You know, because Destiny is not that old, so I would imagine her mother is probably younger than my mom, but she looks old. You know, so you can tell that she had issues. Then, like she had no teeth in her mouth, and she just looked bad. And I would not have put my mother on TV looking like that. You know, for what? You know, for everybody else to have fodder to talk about her over the internet.
That right, exactly. Again, there's a way for you to have told your story. Nobody's telling you to hide it, but there's a way for you to get it out, and it doesn't look that way.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't, because now you got, you know. I'm glad she's not on none of them housewives shows. They were really talking.
You know, her storyline, she wouldn't last anyway.
Girl, yes, it's just I don't know. It No, I'd have rather her did more dating with Twan than to be doing this with her mama, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, ooh, wee.
Well, I feel like it's just a testament that goes to show you nobody is like, I think they keep giving Destiny a chance, and I don't know who or why, but it just doesn't cross over. Just doesn't cross over to the audience. Like, we don't want it.
Hmm. I don't know. So, what would you rate these 2 episodes?
I'm actually rating them a 5 because they were strictly filler episodes for me. I did enjoy the scenes between Maurice and Kimmy and Marceau and Tisha, but also I just thought they were fillers. I mean, because they came from out of nowhere, right? We had no idea that this was going on, like,
Yeah.
and that these were conversations that they were having. Even when it came to Kimmy and Maurice, like, I think we all assumed that somehow they had figured out some medium ground, since her cancer diagnosis and being in remission. So yeah, it's a 5 for me.
The only thing I really enjoyed was the party. And
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing how everybody dressed up and came.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cute. And even the pictures, I was trying to recognize who these people were in the pictures, but I figured out this was supposed to be Nell and Chris.
Okay, yes.
Uh-huh. So look at them. And
Yeah.
so is this supposed to be Maurice and Marceau?
That's what it looked like to me. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And then I guess maybe this is Tisha.
Right.
Or
Or Trish.
Chris, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And
Miss Kimmy, yeah, she looked like she was going down the picnic.
girl, she look like she's 30. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Not that it's a bad picture. She just to me look older. And
Mm-hmm.
for her to be just 50.
Yeah. No, I agree. She looked like she was about, depending
I'm
on
50.
what side of 80 that was,
No,
she
I
could
don't
have been in
care.
high school.
No, yeah, high school, but she would have been 3 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
89, I turned 17 that year.
Mm-hmm.
She, she looks older to me in that picture. This is like a picture my mama would have took at that time.
Okay.
It really does. I'm like, okay, Kimmy, it's not a bad looking picture. It just looks older to me. Yeah, I think she looks cute, but she just looks like she looks very mature. And maybe that's what it is. She's a
Yeah.
very mature person.
I feel like the same with me in my high school pictures. I think we all look way more mature then than we do now. I don't know if it was the pixels in the film. I think maybe with a combination of the way we dress, like, so. I mean, so yeah, but I'm still saying, like she could. It's given maybe high school, senior, freshman in college. For me, that's what it's given, that particular photo.
But not 89. This is what I'm
I don't
saying.
know. I just, I'm just saying, depending
If
on
she's
what's
50,
happening. Mm-hmm.
I'm saying if she's 50, that could not be an 89 picture of her, is what I'm saying. Because
Okay.
that would make her quite a bit younger. Then I was 17, that would make her like 14. She looks grown there. So I would say that she's
Well, I
probably
was just saying, because we don't know if it was. I guess, are we gonna assume that it was in 80? I'm just saying how old she was when she took it. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
really all I'm saying.
Yeah. Because I was thinking
Like
that
she
don't look
made
like an 80s
like
picture. It looked like it
high
could be 90s.
school, maybe freshman year in college.
Yeah, let's see the hairstyle again. That's usually where you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely late 80s, early 90s. Whatever is going on there, it's around those times. It's giving class act, kid and play, house party type of vibes. So that's early 90s, I think. So yeah, late 80s, early 90s.
Late 80s. So how old is Kimmy again? That's all I'm saying.
Go and see. Let's see what they saying. They say Kimmy is 36. I don't think that's right. They say she was born in 89.
No.
I don't know that can't be right, don't you?
That can't be right because her son is he got to be in his 30s, ain't he? Or close to it.
Well, I mean, you can have a baby.
Girl,
I don't know if I stick so hard to those type of things just because people have babies at some strange ages,
exactly. But we know she's older than Maurice, so I know she ain't no 36.
I'm trying to think. I feel like, yeah, that can't be right. They got her down here as being born in 89.
So they would have one of them baby pictures of her up instead of that, which is definitely something look like 90s era to me.
Yeah, and I don't think there's, let me see. Okay, so this one has her as 56 years old. That sounds closer to what she probably may be.
That's okay. The reason why I said that I thought that her and Miss Nell were closer in age, because I think one time, or even when Miss Wanda too said something crazy to Kimmy, and Kimmy was like, "Shit, because we ain't that far apart in age. You ain't gonna talk
she
crazy
did
to
say
me."
that.
Yeah, so that's why I thought that definitely. She just seems more mature acting.
It definitely does. That's why I say even with 56, like I'm not, that seems closer. I could believe that more than 36. I don't think she's 36 years old at all. But okay, I could go with 56. Yeah. And that could still explain that picture. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because she looks about, yeah. So that was, that's what I just thought. Oh no. So yeah, because that would have made her probably graduated, I don't know, late 80s. Yeah, so I don't know, but that's I thought I liked the party scene. I would say the episode was probably about a 5 myself, but what really got me was the scene with Maurice and Kimmy, and it just to me explained a lot that was not said, and I just feel like the things that Martell said definitely had some kind of truth to it.
Well, I would agree. I would agree that listening to Maurice's conversation with Kimmy, I started to kind of go back into my brain and I said, this is very juvenile. And so now some of the juvenile things that I thought Martell was pulling out his, tail, it sounds about par for course, for somebody who has that particular thought process.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not sure how well the Scott household is doing Scott 2.0 over there, because
I don't know. It's probably terrible. That woman got to back it up to him or do all those things 2 and 3 times a day. That's crazy. That is crazy work right there. And if a person cannot see beyond himself that this is not something that the other person is desiring, or even not even putting forth the effort to please her, because it doesn't sound like he is.
Right.
I don't know. What did he say? They're unequally yoked in that department.
That's what he said, which that would be a shame, right?
Yes. And I'm going,
it would be a shame. Because like you said, y'all were before, so why is it that we can't? And it's like he just has the attitude like he just got to have what he wants, and that's that.
Because it's like, why did you marry me then? I go, oh, girl, leave.
Yeah. You say get me out, okay?
What is he gonna do when he's no longer able to stand up?
Right. Well, that's kind of some of the point. It's kind of like, don't you want to know why you feel like this way and what do you right? So you can know what is it about? because I think like Kimmy said last week, you know, intimacy is more than actually having sex.
Yeah.
Sex is just an act, you know, and that's
Mhm.
just that. That's just the way your body shows up, you know. But intimacy is very different. And I think when you are intimate, you can get to the other part, you know, that you want. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And like
Oh,
she said, what separates, that's also the intimacy should be what separates what you get from me from being able to get it from any person. That's what she said. Like,
yeah,
well,
she
if all
said,
you
yep,
care
yep.
about is having sex 3 times a day, like you can get that
Get that
anywhere.
from anywhere. Hmm. I
You
caught
know,
that
which
too.
puts a
Yeah.
different spin on the apartment above the office, right?
Well.
Yeah, I mean, that's all. Like, oh, is that what we needed the apartment for? Because
Yes.
again, who has time for this shit? You know, so right.
Oh Lord. I thought, oh my God. So she shares she's in the same office building, right?
I think so.
Girl.
I think
Coach
that was
Christie.
an old building that they had, like
Yeah.
when, uh-huh.
But yeah, just knowing that, I'm in the same building and whenever hey, let's meet upstairs.
Right.
Whatever.
Right. Exactly.
Girl, I got a client at my desk. I got a showing to do. So my husband's
You
I got
got
a
your
meeting
own
with
little hand signals or whatever.
me be back at 2 and 2.
Right, exactly.
2 and 2.
Everybody around know what's going on. Like, so they just upstairs getting their afternoon delight. Like, are you kidding me?
It's a love connection. 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that would be so horrible.
Wow.
I would hate that. I would hate that. And to me, he should have to mature enough to know. I mean, that because it seems like he's saying if I don't get it, then I'm already out. Deuces. I
That's
want you
what
to
it
be
sounds
happy.
like to me also. That's what it sounds like to me also.
Yeah, I'm like, really? That's that important? Because I don't know what other woman you about to get that wants to do that many times a day.
I mean, yeah, unless you paying them. I mean, like
Yeah,
they get
but that,
paid to
yeah.
do it. Yeah.
But I'm just talking about like you're a forever person. I just
Right.
can't see that.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
Stop.
so I don't know. I thought that was a bit much, but yeah, someone had wrote in the comments. I was looking in the comment section one of those videos.
Mm-hmm.
Maurice, and they said Maurice is the villain that everybody thought Marceau was.
It sounds like it. Mm-hmm. I could agree with that. It sounds like it. Because that's what I mean. Like he shows up with those chauvinistic ways. And I think that even though Marceau did display the ideas of that,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell he has a different approach to his marriage, you know.
Well, he has a different approach because Kimmy's son considered him more of a father figure than Maurice.
Well, that's true.
So that's something right there that knows that he has a way of talking and can empathize with people, and see the other person's point of view, and he operates with a thought process that considers others.
Right. I
And
agree.
Maurice to me is more self-serving.
Yes, for sure.
So I don't know. Well, that's all I got for this one, honey.
Well, that's all I got to, honey. Yes. So, like I said, they coasting on along, but it's a 5 for me. I'm not here for the filler episodes. I do want them to pick up the pace, but I'm not sure what that looks like.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know. And Miss Wanda, next time put something on underneath your little short dress. Are you up here trying to
Please,
do the
okay?
butt?
Flash under all the young folks.
Yeah.
Nobody asked for that.
Girl, it was too tickled.
Nobody asked for that.
He said we can more so he to me he has his little funny moments and stuff, his little sayings. He said we cannot unsee
Right,
that.
exactly.
Oh my God. But anyways, yeah. Even though look, she stuck her leg up in the picture too. In the group picture.
Yeah.
She stuck her leg up. I was like, go ahead, Miss Wanda. At least you can stick your leg up, honey. This weekend I was walking around like the Tin Man. Girl,
Oh
barely moving.
Lord.
Girl, in pain. But yeah, I thought this was a good group picture of them all.
Yeah, that's
I thought
cute. I
that was
like
cute.
that.
I like that everyone participated. They're not like Dr. Damon coming in and ain't even with the theme at all.
Right, right. Okay. He like, you lucky I'm here.
Yeah,
That's how he come up.
yes. Where my wife at?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like that everybody participated and kind of put their all into their looks. And I thought the best dress one was to me Martell. He looked like to me how those guys thought they looked in the 80s.
I could see that.
Yes, with this we call those the chains that Run DMC used to wear and Adidas
Mm-hmm.
suits and everything. So and they was even what I thought was weird when they were, I guess him and Marcel had made up or whatever, but when they were deciding who to invite, and I'm like, she's talking about Miss Nell and Destiny, but she ain't saying nothing about Martell.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I didn't thought her and Destiny you know, was an issue other, that she could see, other than she probably knows that Destiny is running her mouth back and forth and that's how the shit is going. But
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. So they are making sure that they don't say anything bad about each other, which I like.
Exactly.
So they it was pretty good. So that man piece that Martell had gets A+.
Yeah, he did good with his man piece. Mm-hmm.
So with the little
With
purse
his
and
lace front.
my little brothers, I got it. The girl, he said it was $800. He said we was patting our heads like this. My little
Wow.
brother took it off the same day. The other one kept it on for 3 days. Because I'm
Wow.
like, oh my God. I said, y'all looked very zesty in them little man units.
Nice. Yes, zesty.
Yeah. I said, just because I know y'all. But I mean, it was cute. My son goes, they look like one of them gas station workers with like Alibaba's on it. I'm
That's
like, well,
funny.
it was so cute though. I said, but $800? He said, yes, $800. He said, Michael took it out the same day. He said his head was itchy too bad. So
Wow.
kudos to Martell for wearing it as long as he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why I couldn't wear the the 27 pieces and all, girl. If I gotta be patting on like this, girl, oh
Mm-hmm.
no, it ain't
Forget
for
about
me.
it.
Girl, yes. They look like they put a whole bunch of different layers of stuff on your head, the bag and the bag and with the stocking cap and all that stuff. No. That's my head
Mm-hmm.
dream. No, I can't do that one. No. So then they're giving everybody baby hairs, and I don't like that.
Right.
I said, because they do a style without the damn baby hairs. It is
Right.
so terrible. I hated they came up with that. But yes, that's all I got. I think it's about a 5. So we're there. And hopefully whenever, I don't even know when they're coming back on.
I don't either at this point.
So
I don't either.
I guess when they get back, it's gonna be some shit getting dropped about whoever being in the DMs. And then we're gonna see about Destiny's family.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we'll
so
see how the rest of the season goes.
look, and the dysfunction continues.
Mm-hmm. We can survive.
Girl. But that's it. I'm about to go on down here and watch Real Housewives of Potomac.
And we will do our review Tuesday with Potomac.
Yes.
Okay, Tuesday.
Yes. So we doing both Potomac and
Yes.
medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All righty. You sure?
All
You want
right,
to do that?
y'all.
Okay. All right then. Good night. Y'all have a great Sunday. And I'm gonna get down here and watch this TV. I'll talk
Make
to you
sure
guys
you
later.
like and subscribe to the channel.
Yes. Like and subscribe. Please. Let us get in this damn algorithm because I don't know what the heck going on.
Okay.
Y'all feel like I'm being shadow band. What they call it? Shadow bandit?
Shadow band.
Yes, girl. I think so. I don't know what's going on. Nobody's watching.
Right. Hello.
uh-huh.
Hello. Hello
They
out there.
watching over there on Kick, but I don't know. So, but all righty. I talk to you guys later. Good evening.